Every time I see a Bible, it reminds me of unpleasant times. This is the book that destroyed my family. Ever since I can remember, my dad has been a Jehovah's Witness. I remember getting up every Saturday and Sunday morning, very early, to go preach with him. My sister has told me some stories that when she didn't wake up early enough, she would get water thrown at her face by my dad. To me, that was not pleasure. Getting up to go walking and visiting people that didn't want to listen to us was rather disturbing on my mind. There was no way that I was going to get away staying at home. My mother will also send us with him, thinking she was doing the right thing so we can learn how to talk to people and getting into their hearts. It wasn't until years later, when my parents separated, that I stopped going and preaching. My mother used to work in LA, so she has always been away from home the longest. I was not able to see her often as I would have wanted to, but things got to the point where my dad liked to go to the meetings and liked to go preaching more than he liked to help my mother out at home. Another thing I remember was that my dad used to get really mad at me when I didn't get a certain homework, and he would just kind of say, just be really frustrated with me because later on that day we had to go to the meetings, so that was not pleasant. My mother gave him an ultimatum and said to him that it was either his religion or his family. He chose his religion. Up to this day, he has not been responsible with us and would prefer to be with his religious family rather than the family that he procreated. So whenever I see a Bible, it takes me back to a chapter in my life that I do not want to repeat. Thank you. All right, any questions?
So how do you feel about religion as a whole?
I think people need a Superman or someone higher power to believe in, but I think religion is all fairy tales.
So what would you have rather done than go preach with your father?
Well, if it was on my spare time, I would have played Barbies and watched TV with my sister. If it was something to do with my father, like having something to do with him, I would have gone to the park and made him push me on the swings.
It's cute.